Welcome to Love Them Knives channel. LTK here. CH Knives, or should we say knives, because CH is phonetically pronounced ch. Yes, it is. And Nick Shabazz knows that. And he did a video. I'll put the link to his video on CH Knives. You got to watch it. He loves CH Knives. He totally recommends them. Urges everybody to run out and buy one. Yes, he does. I'm giving him a heart attack right now. No, I mean, he basically said that these Chinese unbranded knives, there's no guarantee of your experience. There's no guarantee of consistent quality necessarily. I don't know how you guarantee that. I don't know. I've heard people bitch about Benchmade and Microtech and some other companies too. Everybody's got, maybe a bone to pick here or there. Maybe the heat treat on the L-Max from ZT. I've been to blade forums. I've seen this. I've seen the bitching and moaning. I don't know that anybody has a stellar record. So can you guarantee anything? What you can guarantee, and what he points out, is you can go to your local knife store or Blade HQ or GP Knives, and you can return your American knife, right? Where's my American knife? Here's an American knife. So you get one of these and you go, oh, this sucks, something wobbling, this is loose or something. I hate this. So you can take it back. Send it back to Blade HQ, take it to your local knife store, wherever you bought it. They will replace it or refund your money. Bingo, not a problem. Not the way these things work. This is more of an adventure, of an exploration into the lesser known. I wouldn't say the unknown, but the lesser known. So, Aliexpress is the #1 e-commerce site in Russia. It's in the top 10 in many South American countries and countries around the world. Their combined e-commerce sales they eclipse the next 3 companies that I will mention. Walmart, Amazon, and eBay combined. Those 3 companies combined. Ali e-commerce exceeds in sales. So, they're very popular. Jeez. Not Walmart's domestic sales when you walk in the store and buy things. I'm talking about e-sales. Okay, so online sales, Walmart, Amazon, eBay. Now, Amazon, eBay, everything's online sales. Walmart, that's just a percentage of what they do is online. But you add all 3 together. Now, you're talking about Alibaba Group being $360 billion with a B, billion-dollar company. So, and their online Alipay and all that kind of stuff is that escrow pay thing where the seller gets paid when you get the knife, that kind of thing. And, they say that's as secure as using Amazon or using eBay. So, PayPal, that kind of thing. So, there's not a lot of risk. I'm sorry. I wish it was riskier, but it's not. It's not as risky as you might say. Now, the actual manufacturers that are not distributed in the United States, they're the dice roll knives, like knives are. And, if you're willing to take a risk, you may pick up a knife that's worth 2 or 3 times its price in value, which Nick said in his video. He goes, they can bat way above their pay grade because their expenses are lower and they can afford to sell you a knife. See, if you look at the Alibaba thing, many times manufacturers sell direct to the public. ZT doesn't sell direct to the public. It goes to a distributor. There's a big markup. It goes to the retailer. Another big markup. Minimum advertised pricing cannot be, cannot be compromised. So there's a structured, agreed upon price that's fixed, okay? So with these guys, no. So you might be buying directly from the manufacturer or some guy who's just getting a really small cut in between. So you can get a lot more knife for your money, okay? So, yeah, it's different than the US system. It really is. Is it worth it? To me, it has been. I've bought well over 300 knives between DHgate and Aliexpress, and I would say I've had to maybe file 4 or 5, maybe 6 disputes because the knife got stuck somewhere in customs or at, Chicago or in Holland or somewhere like that. And so I didn't get it. And so I had to file a dispute. It's not because the knife was defective, it was because of shipping. And the shipping is just, sometimes it can be horrible. Sometimes you can get it in like 11 days. Sometimes it could be 11 weeks, and it's totally unacceptable to me. So that's when I filed a dispute. Every time I filed a dispute, I got a refund. Not a dispute with the seller. I filed the dispute with customer service of Aliexpress and or DHgate. So let's get that straight. Yes, and as A-Tech Reviews said on Nick's, in the comments section on Nick's video, it's not like you are going to be out your money. You will get a refund. Okay, so, but it may take a few more days than if you just ship it right back to Blade HQ. 2 days later, they get it, they refund your money, boom. Or it processes back through PayPal or whatever. It takes another 5 days. But, yeah, AliExpress, they will check with the seller, they'll explore it. It can be a week, it can be 10 days, that kind of thing. So, in any case. And the seller's not happy that they're getting their money jerked. Well, they never really got it anyhow to begin with, but they ain't getting paid for the knife. The knife is gone, and their money's gone. And you get your money back. You may not get the knife. Here's the trick. I can't tell you how many people, 3 or 4 or 5 other people have contacted me, and the same thing happened to them as happened to me. Got your money back, and guess what? All of a sudden, that damn thing finally broke free of customs or wherever it was trapped, and you got that too. So you got your money, you got the knife, you got both of them. And that kind of turns out to be the double deal dip, Feel a little kind of sleazy because, you got the knife and the money. So I've contacted the buyers before and kind of done a deal and, whatever. But, but then I go, I got to have some compensation for having to wait. Now, this one came pretty quick. So this was nice. And most of them are within reasonable time, 2-3 weeks, if that's reasonable to you. In today's 21st century, it's amazing. So this is my guide. This is the knives. These are the different colors. This is the green thing that I'm calling green. This is kind of a maroon. This is natural tie. And $51.94. Wisdom 888 is the seller here on DHgate that I got mine from. And if you want to look at the... where's the, OS8, titanium, blah, blah, blah. Here's your metrics on it, length. And, it's not a big, long blade. So, ball bearings, 108 grams. Wow, it's not a big knife. Oh, check it out. Hold on. Let me show you. Okay, so here's the other 3504 model. This is the normal sized one. So this is like a 3.6-inch blade. This is not. This is definitely not. So let's pick this little guy up and check it out. So if you want a more discreet pocket carry, Ping has made it for you, right? Looks like a 3-inch blade to me. Just a little over. Maybe this is supposed to be 3 1/4, 3 1/8. It's 3. Really, it's a 3-inch, and it's under 7 inches. It's really close to 7 inches overall, so it's not a very big knife. Check this one out. This is the other non-skull edition of 3504. It's 3 5/8 and 8 3/8 overall. Okay, so this is 8 3/8. This is under 7 inches. This is S35VN steel. This is AUS8 steel. Good looking little knife though, really light. It's got this flipper tab pointing forward. It's not jimped, and it's really good detent. Very snappy. It just looks like a smaller version of this one. This is kind of more an indigo blue if you get it in the right light, which these studio lights are not really giving it justice, but it's cool. It's really cool. And then, of course, you know, the one with the skull, of course, and the one that I just put down without the skull. So those are the same knives. This has been around for quite a while. S35VN, same as both these. AUS-8, a little bit different pricing area on that too. So, you know, the 48, I think I've seen them as low as 47, 48 bucks. So, pretty good deal, huh? Yeah. So, just checking this out. Okay, let's look at this. Titanium frame lock flipper, over travel stop. And here's your insert. So, you got a hardened steel insert interfacing with the AUS-8, over travel stop. Good fit and finish. Nice backspacer. It's already anodized, so it's already pimped for you. No, the hardware is not titanium, but the scales are. Pretty knife, huh? Kind of a bead blast finish on the blade. Got some jimping here. And you can feel it. Blade stop up here. Stop pin, whatever you want to call it. Milled pocket clip. So what do you get from the US for the same price? You can get this. Steel, G10, liner lock, MOV steel. So AUS-8, titanium, anodized. I don't know. I mean, this is a good knife. I like this knife. So I keep this on my table. And I have the full-size one of this, the Icoma design, Flavio Icoma, and the Carnifex. So I love his knives. I love his designs. So, you know, it's an even thought about either knife, either or. I think this may be a better value in the steel's a little bit nicer, and definitely titanium beats G10 or steel. So, and the ano thrown in and, you know, whatever. So the action's beautiful on this. Nice bearings. Good detent. Is it centered up? Yep. Just like the two CH knives that Nick had. He took one apart, wiped it down, put a little oil on it, put it back together. Real easy to do. Works great. Centered right up. He said the action was wonderful. And it was, yeah. And the second one, he couldn't get apart. He didn't want to push his luck with one of the screws that seemed a little tight or maybe Loctited. So he just put a little lube on the pivot pin and dumped a little lube on the bearings and adjusted the pivot properly because it was obviously off center because the pivot was loose. He said there was some blade play. Well, that's automatically the pivot is usually loose if you got blade play, usually. So what did he do? He adjusted the pivot, perfect action, great, and he said it was. So I don't think he has anything against the unbranded knives specifically. It's just they're getting sold on Aliexpress, which he feels is a little high risk, and there's no guarantees, no specific warranties, although I would argue with him that you do get your money back if you don't get the knife, or if the knife is faulty, you get a refund. You can request a partial refund. If he goes, it's just not quite or on center or something, you go, I don't need a complete refund, but maybe half the price. And so you can do that, go through customer service. It's a huge corporation. It's like dealing with Walmart or something. It's big. You know, well, there's that language barrier thing, but I think they got that figured out in the customer service part. When you communicate with the seller, that's a whole different deal because it is a platform for individuals and companies to sell products globally. So yes, there can be some difficulties in translation. But I mean, all that aside, I really have had a pretty damn good time. And it's been, yeah, a risky business, I guess. Riskier than walking down to the local knife store and buying a knife that's made in the U.S. or is a U.S. brand. So in any case, this is one thing you do if you like to explore, you're just curious, or it's just for shits and giggles, whatever. I mean, you're just kind of, Tucson brand. I mean, yes, this is another dice roll knife. Oh my God, this is a really nice knife. In any case, Got this on eBay. Go figure. So, yes, if you're not happy, will eBay refund your money? Oh, yeah. PayPal, eBay, that whole thing works. So, really, you're not doing an Alibaba thing here. Okay, so just saying, although I don't want my money back, I want another one just like it. It's so good. Damn, it's good. But in any case, so CH knives, and they've got all these different models. And, of course, the 3501, beautiful, smooth, awesome action. And I think this is D2. This is D2 steel. So, you know, the skull knife is the S35VN. How fat is this knife? 4/10 of an inch. Not very. It's fairly slender. A little over 10 millimeters. Let's look at the blade stock. 3. So that's 1/4 inch, you know. Pretty close. 0.12, 0.125 would be an 1/8 inch. Did I say 1/4 inch? 1/8 inch. So pretty close to that. Don't need real thick blade stock on a small little 3-inch blade, under 7-inch long knife. How much does it weigh? Let's check it out. Because this could be fun. This could be fun, son. I like these crazy knives. I like these unbranded things. I know it's nuts. I know. You're taking a chance. I get it. I don't need to live in a Nerf world where there's no risk. I mean, I get on my motorcycle. If you see me on my bike, you know sometimes I take a risk. 3.1 or just 3 ounces. Woo. Not much, huh? Really light. 86 grams. What do you think about that, brothers and sisters? Yeah, that's pretty nice. Pretty light. I like that green anode there. It's a shimmery, kind of glossy thing in the light. If you look on my Instagram, I've got a little video vignette of this in more normal light. I like this integrated lanyard hole. That's nice too. 2 screws on the milled pocket clip. Holds it in place. Slips in and out of the pocket. Great. Already had it in my pocket. Snappy action. I mean snappy on this. And no, I'm not going to take it apart, put it back together with some dabs of oil, because guess what? It's brand new out of the box. And, you know, if it ain't broke, I don't fix it. I'm not going to take every knife I own apart and swab it and re-oil it and put it back together. Nick does it because he wants to show you kind of how to maintain your knives. But, you know, this knife hasn't seen any action, so there's no point. And the action seems really wonderful out of the box. In fact, all the CH knives I've got, none of them have been like gooped up with oil, gritty, off-center, loose pivots, missing screws. None of that problem. They've all been really just right out of the box, just chipper. Maybe I'm lucky. I don't get these from CH Knives. I've gotten one from CH. He sent me one direct. He sent me this one. He sent me this one. And he sent me this one over a 6-month period. Well, this is after he noticed that I was really high on his knives, and he introduced himself. And he goes, thanks for, you know, I'm glad you appreciate my knives and stuff. So he sent me these 3. This and this were in January. This one was just last month. So, in any case, these are all the other ones I've had and do have, and I didn't bring them all out of my drawer because just I don't want to cover the table with his knives. But yes, I guess I am a big fan. So, you know, guilty as charged. Sorry. You know, but this is one, and one of the viewers says this is his favorite. Isn't that weird? This is that Matsudo Subaru looking design, the 3500, and you know it is really dense. It's dense. It's thunk. It's a little bit more brutal, but it's a really great action. Just yeah. I mean I keep forgetting about how much I really appreciate this knife. I've carried it a few times and then I put it back in my drawer because there's always a new love. Like M390 boy here. And this is the biggest blade that I've seen on his knives. This is almost 4 inches. So big boy, you know. 3.75, 3.8 inch M390. Really nice action. Kind of begging for a pimp job though. But wow. And you can get these, there's a color that's like a greenish bluish darker color that they're already pre-anode if you want on the seller site. In any case, so yeah, I mean, I told one of my viewers, because he came on and he says, Nick is saying you can't guarantee the quality, you can't guarantee the experience, you can't guarantee the guarantee, because there ain't no guarantee necessarily. And so you're taking a chance and it's uncertainty, and you really can't, there's so many unknowns and uncertainties. Absolutely. Wouldn't have it any other way. I know that sounds crazy, but when you're, what are the guys that went out to California in the 1840s looking for gold? I mean, what were the guarantees? They were exploring. They were looking for the gems. I'm looking for the gems. And there's some gems over there, and they really are well worth the search. In fact, to me, and I guess I'm going to make this admission, sometimes the search is more fun than the acquisition. Have you been there? Have you ever had that situation? Like, it was almost a letdown once you had the knife in your hand, because it's on to the next frontier, or a search for something new, a new gem that you haven't found yet. It's amazing. I'm sorry. Here's my new gem. Oh, love this knife. Yes, looks like the ZT 427 limited edition, except that knife's not out. This has been out for 3 or 4 months, right? And oh my God, M390 steel, titanium frame lock flipper, big dog. Big. I'm going to do this. I haven't had a chance to do this yet. Oh my God. Oh my God. 5. I knew that was big. 5mm thick blade stock. Oh my God. It's like a 4.2 inch blade. It's a dog. It's like at least 9 inches overall. This is a monster. And the action's incredible. I got 2 buddies that got these a couple months ago, and they'd just been dogging me like, dude, you're going to regret it if you don't get this knife. I got this knife. And my net on this with my e-baits and everything was like $165. I mean, this is probably one of the best knives I have ever bought in my life for $160 something. So this is part of that, risk reward system that you get. Actually my failure rate has been really, really low. In fact, I've had more failure problems with American brand knives that were made in China. Like the Bad Blood knives, I bought 3 of the Urban Mistress knives. One had good action and was centered. The other one had not good action, and the other one was not centered, and I couldn't center it. So I got 1 out of 3. I mean, that's Hallmark cutlery. That's not dice roll knife out of AliExpress, I'm just saying, have you had a Tucson knife? I mean, they're buying the crap of them off of eBay. And it's eBay, PayPal, so it's not AliExpress. Oh my God, these knives are, especially these new ones, that night morning design stuff. Oh my goodness. Wow, $50, like $55. Whew. Titanium backspacer, anodized, milled pocket clip. Wow. Just freaked out. Oh, have you seen the new thing on CH? Yeah, it's that. Hold on. I've got it on my table. Here it is. Okay. So the 3501, right? Got that little look like when one guy was going, Indonesia. What's this, Baja Peninsula in Mexico? No, I don't know what it is. Okay, so here's the knife. They're doing new. And one of the viewers brought it to my attention. I'd seen it on his Instagram site. Doing a little bit different rendition on that anno work, huh? Cool. Cool jeans. Yeah, I like that. See, as opposed to. Just thought I'd bring you up to date on that. Hey, I know it's a crazy world out there. I really do like the CH knives, because Nick Shabazz, not so great on recommending them, although he didn't put them down saying they were junk. He says, they could possibly change bearings in the middle of a run or do some little redesign features or change up on some kind of materials. It could happen. Yeah, I could walk off the edge of the Grand Canyon. But once you've set up and you've got your materials in hand, you're probably not going to change things in the middle of a run. So you're probably going to have pretty good consistency. And like I said, if you don't like it, go to Aliexpress or DHgate customer service and say, it's a piece of junk, I want my money back. You'll get your money back. Been my experience. I've never had to ask for my money back except on 2 knives. Well, the ones that never got delivered to my place, yes. Okay, it wasn't the knife, it was the damn postal service, I swear to God. And it's kind of a pathetic thing that the seller, he suffers. I mean, he loses the knife and the money when the postal service fails. So it's really kind of sad. But yeah, 2 knives. One was a cheap Browse imitation G10, like $18 knife. The liner lock didn't function, it failed. Although the guy sent it off for free or a little trade thing or some throw in, he actually got it to function and it's fine now. And then one other knife that had too much blade play in the detent. In the detent when it was closed, it's closed, but you can move the blade up and down in the detent. That was the other one. Other than that, I can't think of any that actually were faulty. And we're talking about hundreds of knives. So, how much risk are you taking? You're taking a risk. So I do not, and Nick says, I cannot do a full review of these knives. I cannot recommend them. You know why? I can't guarantee your satisfaction. I can't guarantee their quality. I can't guarantee the transaction smoothness. I can't recommend knives that don't have a direct physical guarantee as such, where you can send it in to get tweaked or repaired, that kind of thing. So I understand that. So yes, you are making a trade-off. You are getting a knife for $55 that's probably a $135 knife in the US, or $155, $175 in the US. And you're giving that up. So, but you may be gaining about $100 in value. And, I hate to say this, big secret. It's not rocket science taking these things apart. And Knife Maker Supply online actually will sell you the bearings, the washers, the screws, So, just saying. I mean, there's always replacement parts out there. And it's not tough. I mean, I know. This is a screw. This is a screw. That's it, folks. Comes apart. Have you seen Nick Shabazz's videos? It's not tough. He gets that knife apart in about 1.3 seconds. It's not tough. So how much of a chance are you taking? You could strip a screw. You could be, there could be problems. But, hey, life is full of... So this is for those explorers, those risk takers, those people that just, they're curious and they have a few bucks, and if they lose a few bucks, it's okay. I mean, it's freaking $49. You probably spent more than that last football Saturday at Buffalo Wild Wings, just on beer and, and nachos. So if all else fails, you haven't lost the entire world. And that's the way I see it. And really, I hate to tell you how successful I've been in not getting a dog. It's amazing. I have tried to stay with the decent sellers that have a lot of transaction history, been in business for a while, good ratings, and go after the knives that I see good reviews on. And look on YouTube. Look at this. Look at the people who bought these knives. There will be feedback from buyers on AliExpress or DHgate, and they will leave feedback. And they will go, oh, wonderful knife, love this knife. Or they'll go, action was crappy, gritty, wouldn't center up, blah, blah, blah. Don't buy that knife, So it's always a mixed bag. Be careful. Nick, I love you. I subscribe to his channel. I watch his video. Not all of them, you know, I just don't have time. I'm busy doing kind of my own thing. Bird, Frankie, wonderful couple. So funny, entertaining, love them. Wavester, Kevin Cleary, those guys, I mean, I watch their stuff. Dr. Frunky, Jimmy Slash, Canadian Cutting It, you know, I'm signed up. So I like their stuff. And Nick is so entertaining. He's so funny. He's intelligent. You can tell he's got a great wit on him. And yes, he's not recommending these, and he's not going to put on a full review of these knives because this is not his bailiwick. He doesn't really have any experience with Aliexpress and DHgate anyhow. You know, and it may be huge multinational, multi-billion-dollar corporations, but he doesn't have any experience with them. He doesn't have any experience with the dice roll knives. So, yeah, I mean, that's kind of a little bit more my area of exploration and fascination. I was going to say expertise, but I'm not saying I'm an expert in these. I'm just fascinated and exploratory and a little bit more willing to take a chance. And I'm not telling you what to do. Please don't buy a knife if you really don't feel like you want to take the chance. If you are not in a position where you can tolerate a mishap or a stumble, don't do it. I'm telling you, don't do it. But, you know, I've had a hell of a fun time. And so many of my viewers have. And we exchange information and this and that on the knives. And so it's a sideline. Do I buy ZTs? Yeah. Benchmays, all the, yes, yes, and yes. And do I love those knives? Yes, yes, and yes. So this is an additional little area of exploration that I do on top of my standard stuff, including one of my new loves, my Riot Valkyrie, right? Baby doll. Yes. Yes. Oh, and my Wii knife made Steelcraft Glimpse. So, you know, hey, it's not like I'm not into the standard stuff, but there's always room for a little exploration in my book. So, yes, I have a little bit different take than Nick Shabazz. I love him. He's so funny. I mean, he just makes me laugh, entertain, and informative. So, Nick, love you, dude. And yes, I disagree on some little things, but mostly I agree with what you're saying. It's just like, it's not a smart move to base jump off the top of El Capitan in Yosemite. I wouldn't recommend it. You're right. But for those who do, the rewards are thrilling, you know? And so in this thing, you ain't jumping off El Cap, but you're taking a little bit of a chance. And there's a little bit of a risk, but there's some reward too. So on the side where Nick says, yes, they make knives that are way above their pay grade and quality, I totally agree. The action on the knives he had on his channel were excellent. He said they were. He loved them. He didn't say he loved them, but he said they were really good action. It was like kind of funny watching that. But take care, my friends. Love them knives. Stay sharp. Oh, we got a giveaway coming up. Giveaway. Stay with me. We hit 4,000 viewers. Gonna have a big giveaway. You never know. I got plans. You'll hear from me in the next day or two. Like I said, don't lose your edge.